Hello everyone, my name is Aarti and you are watching HW News. The Hindi imposition debate is not new to India. Since the time of independence, India, especially the southern states, have seen intense protest, some on mass scale, against the imposition of Hindi. The debate crops up from time to time. The anti-Hindi imposition protest incidents in the south states, including Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, have only grown during the last 7 years of the Modi government. The protest is deeply rooted in demands of equality of the language and giving no superiority to one language over the other. Especially the state of Tamil Nadu has been at the forefront of anti-Hindi imposition protest. The state's current ruling party DMK had led the historic anti-Hindi agitation in 1965. However, despite the state's history of anti-Hindi protest, the Modi government does not seem to learn from it. Now, even the Madras High Court has slammed the Modi government and called out the linguistic fanaticism. Madras High Court said that different ethnic, linguistic and cultural identities have to be protected and any attempt to destroy and disturb the same may become sensitive issue. What was the case that led the Madras High Court to issue this statement? We will discuss this in detail in today's video, but before that, if you are watching this video, please make sure you like this video, you comment below the video and you subscribe to our channel. And if you are watching this video on Facebook, please do like our page and share this video to as many people as possible. Recently, the Madras High Court bench was hearing a public interest litigation petition filed by Lok Sabha Member of Parliament from Madurai S. Venkatesan. He had apparently made a representation to the central government in English, but he received a reply in Hindi. Following this, he moved to the Madras High Court. Venkatesan told the court that he had written back to the union government calling for the reply to be sent again in the language English. However, upon failing to receive any response to this additional communication, he moved to the court. Now, his petition had urged the court to direct the use of English in all communications between the central government and the state of Tamil Nadu. Appearing for the centre, Assistant Solicitor General L. Victoria Gowri further submitted that the reply to Venkatesan had been inadvertently written in Hindi. There was no intention on the part of the central government to violate any provision of the Official Languages Act 1963 or the rules. Before the High Court, the central government also admitted that there was a mandate to use English in communications between the centre and the states that have not adopted Hindi as their official language. The court, however, was not convinced that it was a bona fide error on the centre's part. The bench opined that if the mistake had really been inadvertent, the central government would have immediately replied to Venkatesan in English after the issue was raised, and not after the court issued a notice. The court also observed that there were other instances reported where the centre had only responded in Hindi to the state of Tamil Nadu. The court said, and I quote, "It is available in the public domain that information sought by people of non-Hindi speaking states, especially from Tamil Nadu, is given only in Hindi. When a right is given under Article 19(1) of the Constitution regarding freedom to write and freedom of expression, it is the duty of the central government to use English. People from various states would feel very happy if the communications are given in their own languages, whereas the central government has confined only to English and Hindi." Now, the bench of Justices N. Kirubakaran, who is now retired, and M. Duraiswamy observed that the central government is duty-bound to communicate in English and those states that have not adopted Hindi as their official language. This is in line with the Official Languages Act 1963 and the Official Languages Rules 1976. It further said, and I quote, "Any kind of fanaticism is not good for any society. Fanaticism in any form is to be condemned if it is exhibited. Linguistic fanaticism is more dangerous as it would give an impression that one language alone is superior and being imposed upon the people speaking different languages." Now let us talk about this Official Languages Act because it is being used more often in this conversation. So let us talk about that. How did the Official Languages Act come into force first of all? Now, after Indian independence, the adoption of an official language for the Indian Republic was a hotly debated issue during the framing of the Indian Constitution. After an exhaustive and divisive debate, Hindi was adopted as the official language of India, with English continuing as an associate official language for a period of only 15 years, after which Hindi would become a sole official language of Indian Republic. The new constitution came into effect on 26th of January 1950. That meant after 26th of January 1965, Hindi would become the sole official language of India. This, however, was opposed by several non-Hindi states. The DMK led the opposition to Hindi. To allay their fears, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru did enact the Official Languages Act in 1963. The Act ensured continuing use of English beyond 1965. However, the text of the Act did not satisfy the DMK and increased their skepticism that his assurance might not be honoured by the future administrations. As the day, that is 26th of January 1965, of switching over to Hindi as the sole official language approached, the anti-Hindi movement gained momentum in Madras state with increased support from college students. On 25th of January, a full-scale riot broke out in the southern city of Madurai. The riot spread all over Madras state, continued unabated for the next 2 months. The riots were marked with widespread violence, brutal police crackdown, looting and arson, police firing, etc. The then Congress government in the state even called parliamentary forces. To calm the situation, then Indian Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri gave assurance that English would continue to be used as the official language as long as the non-Hindi speaking states wanted. So what does this Official Languages Act exactly say? The Official Languages Act 1963 provides for the languages which may be used for the official purposes of the Union, for the transaction of business in Parliament, for central and the state government acts, and for certain purposes in high courts. Section 3 of the Act says that English will continue to be used in the following sectors. That is, 1. Official communication of the Union government, for which English was being used even before 26th of January 1965. Second, communication between the Union and a state which has not adopted Hindi as its official language. And third, if one state has adopted Hindi as an official language and another state has not, then the communication between these two states will be in both Hindi and English. Now there are some more sections in the Act, and at present I won't go into the exact details, but I have added the link in the comment section. If you want to go through that, you can check it in the comment box. Now the court also noted that provisions of this very Act and said that the centre cannot communicate to the state of Tamil Nadu in Hindi when the Act made by the Parliament of India mandates the use of English for states who have not adopted Hindi as an official language. The court also underlined that Tamil Nadu uses two-language formula, unlike states like Maharashtra which use three-language formula, whereas they have three official languages including Marathi, Hindi and English. Tamil Nadu only uses two languages, that is Tamil and English. Thus, the centre cannot communicate with the state of Tamil Nadu in languages other than Tamil or English. The court also said that the central government is also expected to respect the sentiments of people. It would be appropriate and it is expected that central government gives its reply to the citizens in their respective language. Now before this, there have been many instances in the recent past when the southern state has slammed the BJP alleging Hindi imposition. Last year, Tamil Nadu rejected the national education policy rolled out by the central government which advocated the use of three-language formula. Then Tamil Nadu Chief Minister E. Palaniswamy said that the state won't implement it. Last year in September, a GST commissioner alleged that he was posted in the Hindi cell though he did not know the language. An uproar was created after Ayush Ministry Secretary Rajesh Kotecha allegedly asked those who could not understand Hindi to leave the virtual meeting for Ayush and naturopathy physicians in August last year. In 2019 as well, Home Minister Amit Shah was slammed by non-Hindi party leaders when he called for one nation, one language and said that Hindi could be used as unifying language. He received severe backlash with DMK chief M.K. Stalin reminding the Home Minister that this is India and not Hindia. Amit Shah had then argued that it was Hindi which was spoken the most in India and thus had unifying ability. And this argument is not new. Now I want to end this video by telling you what C. Annadurai had replied to this argument inside the Parliament in 1965. And I quote, If we had to accept the principle of numerical superiority while selecting our national bird, the choice would have fallen not on peacock but on the common crow. Why should we then claim the tiger as our national animal instead of the rat, which is so much more numerous? Well, do let us know what you think about this in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in. The kind of journalism that we do that speaks truth to power needs your support. And so far, we have been asking you to support us through our YouTube membership program. But now we have also come up with another option on our website through which you can now support us. You can now choose if you want to support us through monthly one-time payment or yearly one-time payment on the website. This subscription plan also comes with certain benefits. So do check it out. Go to our website, click on the support on the topmost toolbar and check out the plan that you want to take up. Your support means the most to us. So do subscribe. Until then, stay tuned to HW News.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.